She looked me in the eye, smiled, and whispered, "You'll never be family." That was the moment I knew. No matter what I did, no matter how much I tried to be kind, to be respectful, to fit in, it would never be enough. Because to her, I wasn't just an outsider, I was a threat. But what she didn't know was that I don't break. I wait. I watch. And then when the time is right, I strike. I was 25 when I married Jason. Tall, smart, respectful, he was everything I dreamed of. We met at a tech conference in Chicago. He spilled coffee on my laptop, then offered to buy me lunch while it dried. 2 hours later, we were still talking. 6 months after that, he proposed. It was perfect until I met her. His mother, Marilyn. The first time we met, she didn't even look at me. She hugged Jason, then looked me up and down and said, "Oh, you're the girl he's been talking about. Not nice to meet you. Not welcome to the family." Just that. And then she turned her back and walked away. I laughed it off at first. Jason said she was just overprotective, that she'd warm up. But she didn't. At our engagement dinner, she didn't show. At our wedding, she came late and wore white. She gave a toast at the reception that started with, "Jason was always the kind of boy who made mistakes." Everyone laughed awkwardly. I forced a smile. Jason said, "She's just being funny." But I saw the way she looked at me. It wasn't funny. It was war. When we moved into our new home, she insisted on giving us a housewarming gift. It was a massive framed photo of Jason and his ex-girlfriend. "Just thought you'd like a memory of happier times," she smiled. Jason turned red. I bit my tongue. I didn't want to start drama. I was raised to respect my elders. But this woman? She had no lines. No boundaries. No shame. She showed up unannounced. Criticized everything. My cooking. My clothes. My career. "I don't know why Jason married someone so ordinary," she once said, sipping her wine at my dinner table. Jason said, "That's just how she is." But slowly I started to wonder, was this how he wanted things? A year into our marriage, Jason's job relocated us. We moved 2 states away. I was thrilled. No more surprise visits. No more passive-aggressive gifts. No more Marilyn. For 6 months it was heaven. We settled into a rhythm. My freelance design work picked up. Jason was excelling at his new role. We even talked about starting a family. Then came the knock on our door. Jason opened it, and there she was. Suitcases in hand. "Marilyn." "Surprise," she smiled. "Didn't want to miss your birthday, sweetheart." She stayed for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of chaos. She took over the kitchen, moved furniture around, told me my curtains were cheap looking, even rearranged my spice rack. I tried. I really did. I kept smiling. I cooked her favorite meals. I complimented her hair, her shoes, even her perfume. And then one night, Jason left to grab takeout. And she leaned in close. "I don't care how many rings he puts on your finger," she whispered. "You'll never be family." She said it so calmly, so cold, then smiled, and poured herself another glass of wine. I didn't say a word. But in that moment, something inside me snapped. I wasn't going to beg anymore. I wasn't going to smile and nod. I was going to watch. And I was going to wait. 3 months later it happened. Jason's work sent him to Tokyo for a 2-week conference. He asked Marilyn to stay with me, so I wouldn't be alone. I wanted to scream, but I smiled. "Sure. Stay." She moved in, took over the guest room, and on day 2 she made a phone call. She didn't know I was in the hallway. She didn't know I could hear. "I still don't trust her," she said. "She's too nice. Too patient. No one's that perfect. I'll find something. I always do." Then she laughed. A cold, sharp laugh. That's when I realized this wasn't about me being accepted. This was about her destroying me. But that's when I found something. An old box in her suitcase. She left it unzipped. Inside were photos, letters, documents, receipts. One thing caught my eye. A marriage certificate. Her name. Not with Jason's father, but with someone else. Someone she never mentioned. Someone she married before Jason was born. The dates didn't add up. Not unless. And just like that, I knew her biggest secret. She wasn't just cruel. She was hiding something huge. Something that could destroy her perfect image. Something that could destroy her entire family. I took photos of everything. Every letter. Every document. She had no idea. But what I did next, she never saw coming. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, her voice echoing in my head. You'll never be family. Well, Marilyn, you're not exactly who you pretend to be either. I kept going over the photos in my phone. The marriage certificate. The receipts. The dates. If Jason saw this, if anyone saw this, everything would change. She always bragged about being a perfect wife. Perfect mother. A loyal widow. But if what I found was true, she wasn't a widow at all. She was a liar. And worse, she'd built her reputation on that lie. The next morning, she acted like everything was normal. She sat at the kitchen table sipping tea, scrolling her phone. Don't burn the eggs again today, she said with a smirk. I smiled back. Of course not. Wouldn't want to upset the queen. She laughed, thinking I was joking. But in my head I was planning her fall. I didn't want to expose her just yet. No, that would be too easy. Too clean. I wanted her to feel it. The same way she made me feel for years. Unwanted. Small. Powerless. So I decided to play her game. But better. First, I needed to find out everything. Not just what was in the suitcase. So while she went to her weekly hair appointment, I went digging. I searched her closet, her purse, her email, everything. And I found it. A series of bank statements. She wasn't just hiding a marriage. She was hiding money. A lot of it. Transferred quietly into an offshore account every month. And the name on the transfers? Not her current legal name. But her former one. The name from the marriage certificate I found. Bingo. This wasn't just some family drama. This was fraud. Copied it all. Every screenshot, every transaction, every slip of paper. I organized everything into a private folder. Then I sent it to a cloud backup with a password Jason would understand. First date coffee. Just in case. Because the moment Marilyn figured out I knew her secret, she wouldn't just try to destroy me. She'd burn the house down. Over the next week, I pretended like everything was fine. We baked cookies together. We shopped. We even watched movies. She laughed, poured wine, talked about her son like he was a prince. I nodded, smiled, took mental notes. But on day 10 she slipped. She got a call late at night. I only caught a few words, but they were enough. No, she doesn't know anything. I made sure the papers are hidden. Just stay quiet. She hung up fast when she saw me standing there. Who was that? I asked sweetly. She narrowed her eyes. None of your business. Fair, I nodded. Everyone's allowed secrets. She stared at me. And for the first time, she looked nervous. 2 days later, Jason came home. He was exhausted from travel, but happy. He hugged his mother, kissed me, and said, "Can we just have a calm weekend?" Marilyn agreed immediately. Too quickly. But I had other plans. I told Jason we needed to talk alone. I showed him everything. The suitcase photos. The bank transfers. The dates. He looked stunned. Silent. Like the floor had dropped out from under him. I don't understand, he whispered. She always said Dad was her only love. That he died young. That she never. She lied, Jason, I said gently. She's been lying for years. He shook his head slowly. No, this has to be a mistake. She wouldn't. Then I showed him the photo of the second marriage certificate. His face turned pale. She told me she was 22 when she met Dad, he said quietly. She wasn't. She was married before. And not just married. She was still with him when she met your dad. Jason's whole body stiffened. He didn't cry. But I could tell it crushed him. I don't know what to say, he whispered. She's always been controlling. But this is different. We agreed not to confront her. Not yet. Jason said he needed time to process. And to decide what he wanted to do. But Marilyn, she noticed something had changed. The next day, she cornered me in the hallway. You've been acting strange, she snapped. I don't like secrets in my family. I smiled. I guess we all have secrets, don't we? She narrowed her eyes. What did you say? I leaned in. You always said I'd never be family. But I think you're the one who doesn't belong. She froze. Her lips tightened. Then she hissed. You don't know what you're getting into. I shrugged. We'll see. And then I walked away. That night I woke up to the sound of rustling. Marilyn was in the office, my office, going through drawers, papers. She didn't know I was watching from the hallway. She whispered to herself, "Where is it? Where did she put it?" Then she cursed. Panicked. The next morning she left. No goodbye. No note. Just gone. Jason tried calling her. No answer. We waited 2 days, still nothing. Then we got a letter. No return address. Typed. Short. I know what you're trying to do. Stop before someone gets hurt. Jason read it twice. Then handed it to me silently. We both knew this was her. But what she didn't know was that we were just getting started. Because I wasn't about to back down. Not after what she did. Not after what I found. And especially not after what I did next. 3 days. That's how long she stayed gone. Then she came back. Not through the front door. No apology. No bags. Just Marilyn, standing in the living room like nothing happened. Jason was stunned. Where have you been? He asked, trying to keep calm. She smiled like a politician. Oh, sweetheart, I just needed a little break. I was overwhelmed. Jason didn't say a word. He just stared at her. Then he turned and walked away. And that was the moment she realized. He knew. She turned to me, lips pressed tight. What did you do? She hissed. You told him, didn't you? I didn't answer. I just tilted my head. Did what? You little witch. Her voice was sharp now. Don't think you've won. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said. Or maybe I already have everything I need. She tried to slap me. I caught her wrist midair. And I looked her right in the eye. I'm not scared of you anymore. She pulled away like I burned her. Then she left the room, shaking. Later that night, Jason came to me. I want to handle this quietly, he said. No police. No big drama. But I want her out of our house. Out of our lives. I agree, I said. But how? She signed over the guest house to me last year, he said. We move her there. Then we make sure she can't touch us again. But she's not just toxic, I whispered. She's dangerous. She's been hiding money, lying about marriages, faking a whole identity. Jason nodded. I know. And that's why we're not just moving her out. We're exposing her. The plan started that weekend. We invited some of her close friends over. You know, the women she brags to at brunch. The ones she lies to about how happy the family is. She didn't know what we were up to. We had snacks. Tea. She smiled like a queen. And then Jason said, Mom, we wanted to give you a chance to share your real story. She froze. What do you mean? He pulled out the old marriage certificate. Then the bank statements. The photos. One by one, he laid them on the table. Her friends stared in silence. Jason looked straight at her. No more lies. Tell them who you really are. She cracked. First she denied everything. But the pressure, the proof. It broke her down. Tears came. Fake at first. Then real. She admitted to the secret marriage. The hidden account. The lies about Dad dying young. The room was silent. One of her oldest friends stood up and said, You've lied to all of us for decades. Who even are you? Marilyn didn't answer. She just lowered her head. That was the last time she ever hosted brunch. We didn't kick her out right away. No, we gave her the guest house. She could live there quietly alone. No keys to the main house. No authority. We didn't ruin her. We just removed her power. And that was worse for her than anything. But I wasn't done. Because there was one more thing she loved. Even more than Jason. More than control. Her reputation. She'd spent years building this image. The perfect widow. The strong mother. The graceful, elegant lady who held the family together. I took that. We posted the truth online. Just the facts. No rage. No drama. Her name. The documents. The dates. All real. People whispered. Then talked. Then shared. She tried to do damage control. But it was too late. She wasn't invited to church events anymore. The club dropped her. The neighbors avoided her. She became invisible. Exactly how she made me feel all those years. One day, Jason and I sat on the porch. He said, "Do you think we went too far?" I looked out at the garden. "No," I said. She made me feel like a stranger. She told me I'd never be family. All I did was show her what that actually feels like. Jason reached for my hand. "I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner." I smiled. "You see it now. That's enough." We kissed. And inside, behind the guesthouse curtains, Marilyn watched. Alone. She hasn't spoken to me in months. She doesn't have to, because I'm not the outsider anymore. I'm the woman who protected her family from her. The one who stood up. The one who exposed the lies she built her life on. I didn't just take her son. I took the one thing she loved more than him. Her illusion. And trust me, she'll never get it back. If you like this story, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment and tell us what you would have done. And don't forget to turn on notifications. Revenge Tear drops new stories of betrayal and revenge every day.